Well, Steve Artsy 9. Well, there's an article out, and I can't remember who it's by. Was it Vanity Fair? One of the big people did an article about Disney realizing that they had alienated men from their boy brands, and that they were going to be now focusing on future IP, new IP, instead of trying to fix the franchises they ruined. Because Disney was essentially for kids and women. A lot of kids watched the cartoons and the movies and that, but then when they got older, the boys would tend to go off to other boys' brands, and the women would stay for the Disney princesses. So Disney bought Star Wars and Marvel because they basically were boy brands, because they wanted, to have a wider audience. But instead of just keeping things separate, having their girl brands and their boy brands, they tried to make their boy brands more accessible to women. And the idea of that was good. The idea of just having more women, more female characters, more women involved in the production, so it's 50-50, that was fine. That would have been a great thing to achieve. But they just overcompensated and went full woke, and they just damaged their brand. Basically, they alienated men by eliminating them in the universe or in the scripts or in the production, and characterizing men negatively consistently, making them the butt of the jokes, or the bad guys, and always making the women the leaders, the perfect one, the Mary Sueing of all these women. Instead of creating good female, strong female characters, they just created these stereotypes that were just overly focused on. It's just a mess, and it became a bit of an industry thing. You can see it happening in Star Trek and other things. And what started off as a good idea and a good intention just went too far and alienated people, and now they're trying to get those people back. And this sounds as though in this article they have given up on the brands they've ruined, and they're just trying to focus on new brands. Now, this is not a confession from Disney. Disney didn't write this. It wasn't written with them. It was written about them. I think it's fairly accurate, but the chuds are latching onto it like it's a confession directly from Kathy. And it's not, but it's definitely something they did. They bought boys' brands and tried to make them for both boys and girls, and they just alienated the boys. They didn't attract any new girls, and they didn't even compensate with the men who were alienated with more women coming in. I guess they thought, well, the misogynists will leave, and then the girls will come, and we'll just have a nice audience full of boys and girls, and everyone will be happy. And it's like, no, the misogynists stayed to complain. The regular guys were alienated, and the women didn't come. So no one was happy. It didn't work. So, but it sounds like they've given up. But then again, this is someone's article they've written with their interpretation of the situation, not Disney's actual assessment and like stats and facts or anything. It's like I said, it's not a confession. It's not a report of numbers or anything like that. But it's something that we sort of know has happened. And it's just sad because I think they could have done a really good job if they'd focused just more balanced on women and men. They could have brought more women into the franchises and more women to the audience without actually alienating the men and causing this backlash. And yes, some people would have just made a hassle out of everything just because, hate gets clicks and draws people to their channels and their articles and stuff. But, they didn't need to reach very far to have something to complain about, because they gave them plenty. So I just wanted to comment on that for a minute, because I thought it was kind of interesting that there seems to be an acknowledgement of what's happened. And you can acknowledge this without being a chud. I'm not misogynist. I have no problem with women being in things. I'm a gay man. I usually watch female-centered shows I love Sex and the City and just like that. And I'm not someone who watches, shows that are all about guys just walking around doing fake macho shit, which a lot of people like, apparently. So yeah, and even I'm watching this going, geez, because the MCU failed. They tried with Marvel to get rid of a lot of the male characters and replace them with female characters and female versions of the characters, and people just didn't accept it and buy into it, and they just slowly sort of alienated their audience. And now they're struggling. These new Marvel films they're making, I've forgotten the name, with Robert Downey Jr. They're costing like $1 billion to make or something. Like the two of them they're 500 million each or something, and they're not going to make $1 billion. So Marvel is in trouble. They're just the stupidity of these people. Okay, let's just spend twice as much money bringing back the cast and trying to go back in history and have the films hit like they did before. even though we've changed the films and alienated the audience, and now the audience is different, it's not going to work. Not without a lot of groundwork being laid over time before, and they've just thrown more money at it and brought back the other actors. Like, oh, we'll just bring Robert Downey Jr. back and people will come back. I don't think so, sister. Yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this mess. I hate that the Chuds are running with it like it's something more than it is, but it's definitely an acknowledgement of a problem that has been in sort of, the studios for a few years now, that they do need to find some balance with before it's too late. I mean, we do need more diversity in women and representation, but there needs to be a balance, and they haven't had that.